Hello friends, in this series of lectures we have already discussed what are functional dependencies, how to find whether functional dependency is valid or invalid in case of a table and if you have given some data, and we also discussed how to compare between two different set of functional dependency and how to find minimal set of functional dependency or canonical cover. You see why we are doing so much emphasis on functional dependency, because actually we are preparing ourselves for normalization. You see, normalization is an important process, and to do normalization we use functional dependency as a tool. So that is why we are having so much emphasis on functional dependencies. Now you see, before we finally go to normalization, the very next important point is keys. And you see, students get very much confused that how many there are a number of type of keys in database, like super key, primary key, candidate key, foreign key, and number of keys are there. So first in this video I'll discuss how many types of keys and what are their logics, and then using keys and using functional dependencies will continue the logic for normalization. So in the next video will discuss normalization. Okay, before discussing about the type of keys, first let me tell you what is key and why we require a key. For example, you consider a table, a relational table, and suppose let me have some column A, B, C, D, so on and so forth, and let me write some data. Let me have some random data and something. Now you understand this. If we have stored some data in a table, then we must be in a position to retrieve that data. Now suppose I want to access any particular cell. Now you understand, to access a cell I must tell you two things. That is, the address means what? I must tell you for which row and which column I want the data. But you understand, in a table every column have some name, so that is easy. I'll say directly, okay, I want to go column number C or column C, so that is okay, you can come up to here. But in column C, to come exactly into this cell, you must tell which row you are talking about. But the problem is, you understand, row don't have a name, columns have a name, row don't have a name. Now in between those four rows, how you are going to say I want to access that particular row? Now if row don't have a name, then what you will do, you will say, okay, I want to access that row where, for example, the value of A is 3, or I want to access that row where the value of B is B. Now you see, there's a case. When you say the value of A is 3, that is okay, no problem. Why? Because in all the rows there is exactly only one rows where the value of A is what? 3, so that is quite okay. But if I say I want to access that row where the value of B is small b, but there's a problem. What's the problem? For second and third both row, the value of B is B. So conclusion is what? Can I use attribute A's value to search a particular row? Answer is yes. Why? Because every row have a unique value. So if I say I want to access that row where the value of A is, for example, 4, now it makes sense because I'll directly go to the row 4. But you see, the value of B is what? Duplicate. So based on the value of B, I cannot say even whether I can access second row or third row. For example, again, if I say I want to access that row where the value of C is X, but you see, for attribute C also X is repeated here and here. Now you understand, if I want to select any particular row in a set of rows, a row or a tuple or an entity both mean same. If I want to access any particular row, I must tell any property or any values of attribute which is unique. For example, here I can use attribute A, and I'll tell you the value of A and you tell me what? The value of BC. So it means there's nothing but a functional dependency from A to BC. Based on the value of A, you can search a row uniquely. Okay, one more logic. Even you see, independently or individually, B is not compatible or capable of finding a row uniquely, because you see this B is replicated, and individually C is also not capable. But can I use B and C both together? to select a unique row, you see, if you take both B and C together, now the value is what? Unique. For example, here you have X, but here you have AX and BX, so there's no problem. Again, B is common, but with B you have here Y and you have X. So it means what? If I want to write, I can also write this. So BC to A is also valid functional dependency. So if I tell you both the value of BC, again you are in the position to select any particular row uniquely. Okay, so now you can say both A and BC is a key. Now what does it mean? So I'll say a key is a set of attributes which sometime might get a single attribute or have more than one attribute, with the help of which I can identify any particular row in a table, or I can select any particular row in a table. And again, you understand why I'm doing so, because columns have names, so no issue in that, but rows don't have a name. So I'll say certain property based on which you will select any particular row in a table. Again, if I ask you, can I say C tends to, for example, AB is a key, this C is a key? Answer is no. Why? If I say again, as you see, the value of C is what? Replicated. So if I say okay, go in that row where the value of C is what? X, you see there are two rows, the first one and the third one, where the value of C is X, this and this. So this cannot work, this cannot work. So that is the basic logic of key. What is a key? Okay, now let me discuss the types. First type of key here we'll discuss is super key. Now what is super key? And still you see there's a lot of confusion that what is super key. Why? Because in databases there are some number of keys, so even for the basic type we say super key. What does it mean? There is no difference between a key and a super key. The super key is the simplest key, and the definition I have just discussed for key is nothing but the definition of super key. So if somebody asks you what is a key or what is a super key, again it means the question is same. So what is a super key? Again, super key is a set of attribute which may contain one or more attribute, using the value of which you can identify or select a row uniquely among the set of rows. That is it. So that is the basics of super key. Okay, after super key the next number come of candidate key. Now what is candidate key? Let me remove this table so that I can discuss the data directly. Now you understand this. For example, okay, for example, let me say I have a table like this. A tends to, or there's some table which contain 4 attributes A, B, C, D, and I'll say there are some functional dependencies, like from A you can find B, C, D, from A, B you can find C, D, from A, B, C you can find D, and for example from, let me say, from B, D you can find AB, and from let me say only C you can find A and D. Okay, now understand, take these cases separately, so these are not all the functional dependencies we'll considering. Now you understand this thing. If you say with single A you can find what? B, C, D. Now what does it mean? Can I say A is a super key? Because now let me tell you, I explained you now, a key and a super key both means what? Same type. So I'll discuss not key, or I'll say not key but super key, so it will remove all confusion. So can I say A is a super key? Answer is yes. Why? You see, with A or from A you can identify all the other attributes. It means what? How many total attributes are there? A, B, C, D, 4 attributes. 1 is there, 3 is there. It means what? Using A you can find all the attributes, means find, you can find the entire row. Okay, so A is a super key. Fine. Let me write this. Okay, A is a super key. Can I say AB is also super key? Again you say answer is yes. Why? Because with AB you can find what? CD, and it means what? All the 4 attributes. Yes, it is also a super key. Can I say ABC is a super key? Yes, you see ABC is also a super key. Why? With ABC you can find D, so no issue in that. Can I say AD is a super, BD is a super key? Again you say yes. Why? Because with BD you can find AB and these are 4 attributes. Okay, so no issue in that. Can I say C to AD is a super key? You say answer is no. Why? Because with C you can only find what? AD, and what you cannot find is what? B. So I cannot find the entire row or all the attributes, so I'll say now this is not a super key. Are you getting my point? One point you make a note. Don't take think that from C you can go A and from A you can go B, C, D. I am taking all cases separately. Okay, so see, these all qualifies themselves to be a key because from left hand side you can find the right hand side, and with left and right both sides you get the entire relation. So that is a super key. Now what is a candidate key? Now again, there's a common sense logic. What? With A you can find B, C, D. Yes or no? Yes. With AB you can find C, D. Okay, now you tell me what makes sense. With single A, if you can find B, C, D, then are you going to use AB to find C, D? Answer is no. Now what does it mean? अगर सिर्फ AB से सिर्फ A से आप B, C, D find कर सकते हैं, then there is no logic to find what? AB to C, D. Means what? That is okay. These all 4 keys are satisfy themselves to become a super key. That is okay. But we will try to find a minimal super key. Minimal super key, can you do it in minimal number of minimal number of attributes? Answer is yes. So if I ask you, this ABC is a key? Yes. Or a super key? Yes. But is this ABC is a candidate key? Answer is no. Why? I'll say only minimal super key becomes candidate key. Now what is this minimality based on? Okay, now that is important, you understand the logic. I'll say minimal super key is candidate key, but when can I say a key or a super key is minimal? I'll say if a proper subset of a super key is also a super key, then you are not a candidate key. Or I can say direct definition of candidate key. I'll say if a proper subset of a super key is not a super key. Understand this thing. If a proper subset of a super key is not a super key, then means you are a candidate key. Now let me explain. You get to understand this. You see, ABC is a super key. AB is also a super key. Now you see, AB is a proper subset of ABC. Now if your proper subset can do the same thing which you are doing, it means you are not minimal. You are not minimal. So let me say this is not a candidate key. Again, get this thing. The proper subset of a super key, that is AB, is also a super key. It means what? I don't require AB. Okay, now let me ask you, is AB a super key? Yes, because we have already proved it. With AB you can find CD. Is AB is a candidate key? Again you get this thing. There is a proper subset of AB which is what? A. And is A is also super key? Yes. It means AB is not minimal, so it is not candidate key. Again you get this. आपका proper subset है A, जो वही काम कर सकते हो जो आप कर सकते हैं, तो फिर आपकी मुझे कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आप minimal नहीं है. Very good. Now see, is A is a candidate key? Certainly it is. Why? Because it is only one attribute. So if A you can find B, C, D, there is no proper subset. So again it qualifies itself to become what? Candidate key. Now let me ask you, is BD to AB is a candidate key? Now that is very logical. You understand this thing. You might be thinking, if we have proved that A is a candidate key with only how many attribute? One attribute, then how it is possible that some other key or some other super key can become a candidate key with more than one attribute? But understand that is possible. How? You see, first, is BD a super key? Yes. Question number 2, any proper subset of BD is a super key. You see, there are only 2 proper subsets possible. Logically 3, one is 5, but it's unconsiderable here. So 2 proper subsets, either single B or single D. You tell me, is single B a super key? No. Is single D a super key? No. It means what? There exists no proper subset of this super key which is also what? A super key. Means what? It is also what? Minimal. So let me say it is also a candidate key. Again, get this point thing straight. व्हाट, आपका क्योंकि कोई भी प्रॉपर सबसेट सुपर की नहीं है, इसका मतलब आप ऑलरेडी मिनिमल हैं। मुझे इस बात से कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि बाकी कोई सेट ऑफ एट्रीब्यूट्स या बाकी कोई सुपर की काम कितने एट्रीब्यूट्स में कर रहा है। इट इज ओके इफ यू आर डूइंग इट वन एट्रीब्यूट, दैट इज ओके, बट यू सी मेरे पास भी कोई रिडंडेंसी नहीं है। बी एंड सी बोथ आर एसेंशियल्स, आई कैन नॉट डू द टास्क विद आइदर ओनली बी और ओनली व्हाट, डी, सो इट ऑल्सो क्वालिफाइज इटसेल्फ टू व्हाट, कैंडिडेट की। नाउ इज सी a कैंडिडेट की? बहुत दूर की बात है। व्हाई? बिकॉज सी इज नॉट इवन द सुपर की। सुपर की अगर आप होंगे देन देयर इज अ चांस टू बिकम कैंडिडेट की। ओके, सो आई थिंक you understand both two logics. First, super key and key both are same logics. So if you want to become a super key, you must find all the other attributes. So like this a and ab and abc, they all are what, super keys. And why are you doing so? Because you want to identify a table. You see, that is also important. First you must understand why we are discussing a topic, so key will help you to identify any particular row. Okay, but why you switch yourself from super key to candidate key? Because you see, candidate key are comparatively smaller or they are minimal super keys. So again, if I go exact definition, so we'll understand what a proper subset of a super key, if not a super key, then it is called what, candidate key. Because if your proper subset cannot do the task which you are doing, means what, you are minimal. For example, like you see BD का कोई भी प्रॉपर सबसेट सुपर की नहीं है, इसका मतलब BD कैंडिडेट की है, वो पहले से ही क्या है, मिनिमल है। बट यू सी AB का प्रॉपर सबसेट है A, जो भी क्या है, सुपर की है, इसका मतलब AB के अंदर कुछ तो एक्स्ट्रा है, तो AB कैंडिडेट की नहीं है। ओके, नेक्स्ट नंबर आता है किसका, प्राइमरी की। अच्छा, one more thing you understand, I am not discussing the entire logic, so it is only a series of lecture where I'll give some basic points so you get a slight idea, like is it essential to have a candidate key, or how many minimal or maximal number of candidate keys you can have a table. So there are number of discussion points. In next videos I'll discuss some of the example questions also. Okay, now understand what is a primary key. Okay, understand this thing. Again, students get confused. There is no difference between candidate key and a primary key technically. For example, in this particular case, you see A and BD both qualifies themselves to become what, candidate key. Now it is a duty of database administrator that which of this candidate key becomes what, primary key. So if DBA chooses this A attribute or A candidate key to become a primary key or to become primary mean to identify tuples, then it becomes what, primary key. तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ, among a set of candidate keys, database administrator chooses one key as a primary mean to identify tuples. That particular candidate key we called it what, primary key. That is it. तो अगेन एक बात समझे, प्राइमरी की और कैंडिडेट की में कोई डिफरेंस नहीं होता है, कैंडिडेट की एक से ज्यादा हो सकते हैं, बट डेटाबेस एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर किसी भी एक की को चूज करता है एंड से इट एज व्हाट, प्राइमरी की. दैट इज इट. तो अगेन यू सी 4 लॉजिक आई हैव डिस्कस, की, सुपर की, candidate key, and then what, primary key. This is mainstream logic. It is very important. You see, key and super key both are same. Again, a set of attribute with the help of which you can identify all the other attributes becomes super key. Very easy to find. Okay, then from super key to go to what, candidate key. Minimal or minimize super key is candidate key. A super key whose proper subset is not a super key is called what, candidate key. And there's no functional difference between a key and a candidate key and a primary key. The candidate key which is chosen by database administrator as a primary mean to identify tuples becomes what, primary key. That is it. And there is only one primary key per table. Okay, now that was one sequence of questions of logic. I'll discuss foreign key because it is an entire different logic in the next video, and we'll also discuss some practice problems. Because why I'm discussing all these logics, it is very essential to know what is candidate key and how to find candidate keys. Why? Because if you know how to find candidate key, you can identify how many attributes are prime and non-prime. Now that is a different terminology, and based on prime and non-prime, time you can very easily find what? Normalization. That is important. You see, students normally feel normalization is a difficult topic, but let me tell you, it is one of the easiest topic of databases. Why they feel it difficult? Because they didn't have done a basic homework on functional dependencies and keys. If you have good knowledge of functional dependencies and keys, let me tell you, normalization is just just a task of seconds. Just you apply the logics, they're all predefined formulas, and using this you can very quickly say that that particular relation in that normal form or that normal form. Okay, I hope you understand the logic. Thank you.